What if your home could whisper peace into your soul? Not shout trends, not flaunt luxury, but simply exhale. There's a kind of silence that isn't empty. It's full of intention, full of breath. A silence that lives in the grain of wood, in the curve of a handmade chair, in the gentle pause between footsteps across a warm, pale floor. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. What if design wasn't about things, but the spaces between them? Imagine a place where the rush of the world softens at the threshold, where every choice, every corner, every color invites stillness. Not a cold, lifeless stillness, but a stillness that heals. Now, let's go deeper. Because this isn't just minimalism, and it's not just rustic charm. This is Japandi, where the elegant restraint of Japanese design meets the grounded simplicity of Scandinavian living. Two worlds, thousands of miles apart, yet rooted in the same truth. That less isn't lack. It's liberation. And when that philosophy finds a home in the bones of a humble barndominium, a structure once meant to hold animals, tools, grain, something extraordinary happens. Function meets philosophy, form finds soul, and peace finds a place to live. So, take a breath, let go, and step into the world where calm isn't something you chase, it's something you come home to. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. This is Japandi Minimalism, reborn in a barndominium. And it doesn't need to be loud, because peace never has to raise its voice. It began with a longing, a quiet ache beneath the noise, not for more, but for less, not for walls that stretch endlessly, but for ones that breathe. We didn't know what to call it at first, that craving for calm, that urge to strip away the clutter, the chaos, the constant, to step back from the race and just be. But it was always there, in the way we paused at soft light, in the way we felt drawn to raw textures, to muted tones, to homes that didn't shout, but held us. When the world spins too fast, we don't want bigger, we want meaning, we want moments. We want homes that feel like exhaling. Japandi is that answer, not a style, but a stillness. Born from two cultures oceans apart, and yet both guided by the same compass, that beauty lives in restraint. That form follows feeling, and that the most powerful spaces are the ones that know when to be quiet. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. In Japandi, there are no wasted lines, no excess, no spectacle, only presence. Wood, stone, linen. Honest materials that ask nothing of you except that you come as you are, and in return they give you something rare. Room to think, room to feel, room to come back to yourself. So no, it didn't begin with luxury. It began with letting go. Because sometimes, the greatest design decision is the one that makes space for stillness. And in that space, we find home. Now, imagine that silence, not in a temple, not in a retreat, but inside a barn. A place once built to shelter labor, to hold tools, store grain, house livestock. A structure born from necessity, from grit and function and weathered hands, but now reimagined. Not erased, not disguised, but honored. The bones remain, tall, honest, and strong. The beams still stretch wide with purpose, but the spirit inside has shifted. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos. And let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. It no longer holds the noise of work. It holds the quiet of wonder. In this space, Nordic strength lives in every exposed timber, a kind of humble power, unpolished but pure. And between those beams a new rhythm emerges, one of Japanese precision, tatami-like flow, layouts that guide you gently, not with walls but with energy, with breath. There are no grand entrances here, no glitter, no performance, only light, and the way it rests across textured wood, only shadow, and how it dances in the corners. Every surface is chosen, not for show, but for stillness. Every empty space isn't unfinished, it's intentional. It invites you to pause, to see, to feel. This is not a contradiction, it's a union, a dialogue between raw and refined, between barn and beyond, where Scandinavian simplicity holds hands with Japanese harmony, and what was once a space for animals and storage becomes a sanctuary, not just a home, but a meditation. Here, the past is not forgotten, it is transformed, and silence finally finds a shape. Here, clutter is replaced with consciousness. Not every shelf is filled, not every wall is dressed. Because in Japandi, absence is not emptiness, it's presence, waiting. Furniture isn't collected, it's considered. A chair isn't just somewhere to sit, it's a gesture, a promise of pause, a quiet offering to your body and mind. Everything here is chosen, not bought in a rush, not added just to fill space, but placed with care, as if the home itself is listening. The colors do not shout. There's no battle for attention, no bright declarations or flashy accents. Instead, the palette speaks in hushed tones. Soft beiges, muted charcoals, warm whites, colors that hold you, not blind you. And it's not cold and not even close. It's reverent. Because when the world outside is loud, a quiet room feels like kindness. And in that quiet, something beautiful happens. You notice the way linen folds over itself. You notice the weight of a ceramic bowl in your hand. You notice that a single wooden table, set for one, can feel like a poem. Even shadows, yes, even shadows, are welcome here. They aren't hidden, they're embraced, because light is only meaningful when it knows how to rest in the dark. This is the poetry of restraint. Nothing here begs for your attention, but everything rewards it, if you slow down long enough to see. And perhaps that's the secret. In a world obsessed with more, louder, faster, this kind of design doesn't compete, it invites. And softly, without saying a word, it begins to change the way you see everything. Because in this life of scrolling and shouting, we are starved for stillness. We scroll past moments we'll never remember, chasing updates we never needed. We live in rooms filled with things and still feel empty. But here, in this quiet language of Japandi, we remember. We remember how it feels to walk slowly down a hallway without needing to be anywhere. To feel the coolness of the floor beneath bare feet. To hear the hush of the house breathing with you. A Japandi Barndominium doesn't entertain you. It doesn't distract. It doesn't sell a lifestyle. It offers a return to intention, to warmth without excess, to comfort without clutter. A place where a cup of tea can become an entire afternoon. Where silence isn't awkward, it's sacred. Where the pause between thoughts isn't filled with noise, but with peace. Even the smallest details speak softly. The slow creak of wood as the sun shifts. The whisper of linen catching the breeze. The quiet rhythm of a dog breathing near the door. Not guarding, not barking, just being. You don't decorate this home. You don't control it. You listen to it. It asks you to be honest. To sit still. To stop curating your life and start living it. Because here, presence is not a performance. It's enough to exist. So yes, this is a home. But more than that, it's a reminder. That peace doesn't have to be found in faraway places. Sometimes it's already waiting. In the quiet corners of a wooden wall, in the softness of a single room, in the life you're already living, just more gently.